Okay, so a little bit of story time. As you guys know, I've been posting more on-site videos on this channel, but clearly there's gonna be more days that I don't record myself on jobs as I do posting, just because obviously efficiency, I have to make money, the customer's waiting. So I'm only gonna record a few times if I have the time, if I have the willpower to also handle recording a video. So yesterday I had two customers lined up. I had one at 9 a.m. and a second customer at 12 p.m. The first customer was for overspray removal. She told me that her husband was painting something in the garage and there was a breeze where there was wind blowing, the garage wasn't sealed off, so the overspray carried on over to her hood, her front end, and while they were gonna dump the paint, her son like dumped it incorrectly. It splattered on his vehicle, so she wanted me to go and touch up the overspray. Now in my head, I'm always still learning. I'm gonna make plenty of mistakes. I completely own up to that. You guys think I'm like this super master that I mess up just as many times as anyone else. The only difference is I learn every single time, so I still make plenty of mistakes. Don't think I'm some superhero business person. No, I make plenty of mistakes and I relate it back to you guys. So the mistake I did, number one, is, and I hardly ever do this, but was assuming that she was correct, that it was only on the hood. By the way she was describing, I was like, okay, it's only gonna be the hood and maybe a little bit on the front end. So that's numero uno mistake of assuming that she was correct. The second is, if you're not accustomed to pricing a certain service, always give a price range. So for me, interior cleanings, for 90% of the vehicles, it'll be between, as of right now, it'll be between 180 to 240, between 4 to 6 hours. I can get done about 80% of vehicles, sedan, coupes, small SUVs, minivans, within that 4 to 6 hour time frame, almost regardless of the condition. If I clearly know there's a lot of pet hair and it's a bigger size vehicle, SUV, even some minivans, yes, I'll up that time, and I'll up the time from maybe 5 to 7 hours, and the price from 220 to 300. So there will be some variations, but most of the time is between 180 to 240. Now, if there's a curveball, not a curveball, but let's say a customer just wants their seats cleaned, then I, for the most part, can guesstimate what, a rough time frame and a rough price, and I usually give just a solid number. So if it's the interior, the full interior, I'll quote 180 to 240. If they want a single service, like I just want the seats and the floor mats cleaned, then I'll give a single price. I'll say it's $100 for instance. It'll be 120, 140. But I should always stick to giving a price range, because that's always a safer bet than thinking I know exactly the condition of that specific service that they want. So in this case of the overspray, I quoted $50. Now I did talk to her and say, hey, look, but that's just an assumption. I haven't seen it, so the price may vary when I get there. It just depends on the condition, and she was fine with that. She knew she know I didn't see it, so it may go up based on the condition. So I get there at 9 a.m. And yeah, the entire car is covered in overspray. Now I talked to her and I told her, hey, look, because the car was dirty, so she couldn't see the entire vehicle. The vehicle was black. It was a mini SUV. So I explained to her, look, your entire car is covered in this, but it's mostly in the front end. That's where you can really see it. Now you can clearly tell the entire car was covered in overspray. It's black, so it's easy to tell. But for her, I mean, it was more covered in the front end, the two front fenders, the front of the hood, and the front bumper. That was, it was white essentially. So I talked to her, said, hey, look, do you want me to do the front end, or do you want me to do the entire vehicle? And she, the customer is what they want, right? Of course, you want to do the entire vehicle to make it look good. It has overspray, but if the customer doesn't want everything, what do you want to do? So she just wanted the front end. That's fine. On her son's vehicle, the splatter from the paint was all along the passenger side of the vehicle. So that was also a completely different project. So this $50 job that I thought I could knock out in like an hour and a half, because I still had that customer at 12 p.m. Turned out to be a $300 job. And I did her vehicle in those 2 hours, and I rescheduled her son's vehicle for sometime later next week. So the takeaway from this is, number one, don't assume the customer is always right. If possible, always get photos to confirm the vehicle's condition. Give a price range. I think I just said that. And if you get there on site and it's not what you expected, it's gonna take longer, then it's okay to just think on your feet while you're at it. Like, not everything has to go absolutely to the T when you get there. I thought I was gonna be able to finish both those cars under $50 within those 2 hour time frame, and then get to my customer at 12 p.m. That was completely wrong. I was like double timing everything that I was doing to knock out her car within a reasonable time frame for me to get to the other customer's location. I ran behind time. I texted the other customer saying I'm gonna be 20-30 minutes late. So that was a curveball, right? That was like I was moving as quick as I could. I was falling behind. I charged her more, but she was okay with it because we agreed that it may be more depending on the condition. And the other customer was absolutely fine with it. I was communicating with everyone, so that's okay. But you're gonna be throwing curveballs. You're not gonna be prepared for everything. There will be many instances where you're literally moving just one step ahead of what you just thought about, and that's gonna be absolutely fine. Just keep that in mind. Next is, because you're gonna get into these situations, you gotta throw out that same mental mentality of like doing everything a certain way. Like there's gonna be times where you're gonna skip steps, or you're gonna like fuse steps, or you're gonna do steps that you don't normally do to get the same achieved results. Like, don't think that you're gonna literally have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G every single last time. Depending on the situation, the customer, their budget, their problem, you will have to remove or add some steps in order to get the desired results. Sometimes you will just, by the nature of it, by how you agreed, by the price you gave, you will do a lot more work for a lot less money. On the other hand, there will be times where you could do a lot less work for the same results and make a lot more money. You have to be able to adapt very, very quick with the situation, no matter what you're facing. And just to give you a bit more context on the overspray removal, so it was the front end. I washed it, I clayed it, I polished. I did a one-step polish, and I charged her. I initially gave her so initially the price was $50 for both cars. Scratch that. It's $300 or $200 in total. I think it was $200 actually, not I think it's a $300. It's $200 in total, and I'll charge her $150 for her front end, and then the other $50 would be for her vehicle, her son's vehicle, to remove that overspray. Because I finished it under 2 hours, I believe, I only charged her $125. So I charged $150 just in case like it'd take me that much longer. But because it didn't take me that long, I still finished it within a reasonable time frame. I only charged her $125. So that's me being honest with the pricing. Could I have just charged the same $150? Yes, she would have been absolutely fine with it. She agreed to it. But being the ethical, honest person that you should be, I priced it just in case it goes over. I'm still good. Since I didn't go over, I didn't need that extra $25. So that builds a strong relationship with the customer, knowing that, hey, look, he could have charged me these extra $25. He took it off. He's an honest guy. And lastly, if you're not sure of the service you're gonna perform, make sure that you communicate that, hey, look, it may be more once I get there, once I see the condition, or the vehicle and the condition. And if so, just try to get pictures beforehand. That way you don't have to get there and then realize what it is. Sometimes that's not gonna be that's not gonna really help, because with overspray, does the customer know what to take a photo of? Are they showing you the true condition, or is there like another area that's 10 times worse than what they're describing? So that can also be a flawed system too, if you're being totally dependent on the customer sending you in a photo. So if it's an interior job, if they want to remove the swirls and scratches, if whatever, they could be taking a photo of the wrong thing or the wrong angle, and it doesn't look as bad, so you quote it at not so bad pricing. You get there and you say, hey, look, you send me a photo of that, and that's actually 10 times worse, and I still have to deal with that. So that's also a flawed system in itself, but it does help if you can get the proper photos and you can analyze it on your own with what they showed you. But always try to say, like, if you're not too sure of the service you're going to perform, of the price, just say, hey, look, this is the price. I haven't seen the condition, so it may be more. Or just give a price range. Say it's going to be either $50 or $150. I know that's a big spread, but it just depends on the condition when I'm there. So this video is kind of all over the place. Just wanted to share that tidbit of advice because it is valuable information for you to take and apply to your detailing business. Leave any questions or comments that you have below on the situation. Let me know if it's happened to you. What did you do? A bunch of information given. Take it. Let me know what was good, what was bad in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.